Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 10 of my show. But this is about Episode 9 of Season 2. Now before I start talking about this, I'm gonna mention some things very quickly. I am going to be uploading a lot of videos this week and the next couple of weeks. And I'm gonna explain why very quickly before I continue. It's because I'm going on a family sort of outing. I'm going to a wedding in a couple of weeks, so because of that, that's why I might be uploading a couple of videos during the week, even though I don't normally do that. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, but now getting into it. This is History of Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 10 of my show, but this is about... Wait, no, wait here. Dang it! Yeah, let's see. Episode 7 was about Episode 6, Episode 8 was about Episode 7. Oh, yeah. So this is Episode... Episode 7 was about Episode 6, Episode 8 was about Episode 7, and Episode 9 about Episode 8, so yeah, so this is 10. So this is it for Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 10 of my show, but this is about Episode 9. Now, Episode 9 in the original Power Rangers series is known as the Beetle Invasion, but before I start talking about it, I just want to mention this. I will probably just record this tonight, but I won't post it tonight because of the fact that I'm running low on battery power on my iPad, and also the other reason is because that's actually the main reason. So what I'll probably do is I'll just record this tonight, but I'll post it sometime tomorrow. And by sometime tomorrow, I mean probably after I get back from day program. That's basically what I mean by that. Anyway, getting into the actual episode. The way this episode starts off, like I said, the way this episode starts off is basically, Ernie, well, the Rangers are in the youth center, and, they see Ernie with, basically with a broom ball and a broom and a ball, and then basically, what happens is after that, the Rangers in their human forms are asking, Ernie what's with the, get up, like he's wearing a coach outfit and a broom, and he has a broom and a ball in his hand, and then basically, what happens is, as I said, the Rangers ask him what's with that, and then Ernie tells them that the youth center in Stone Canyon challenged them to a broom ball game, and then when Billy overhears that part, now basically, I'm just going to explain, it's actually explained by Ernie, but I'm also going to explain it. Broom ball is basically, it's like, if you've played hockey, it's like hockey, except instead of using a stick and a puck, you use a broom and a ball in order to play, and you still score goals and stuff. So it's sort of similar to it, it's just different stuff that's used, basically. And then Ernie tells Rangers in their human forms that he's going to be coach for the team, but he needs players. And he was hoping that the 5 of them could be the players for his team, and basically they agreed to it. Well, first they don't, I don't know if they want to agree to it at first, and then some of the people from the the Stone Canyon Youth Center, because now I'm just going to mention it because of the Stone Canyon thing. That's actually going to play a hand in both in this segment. The mentioning of the Stone Canyon is actually going to be brought up a couple of times in this second season and also in one of the later seasons. So I'm just going to explain what it is in the TV show. It's the city. It's the city that in the show that's outside of Angel Grove, basically. So sort of similar to it, basically. It's just in a different. It's just in a different portion, in a different city. It's basically a neighboring town to Angel Grove. That's all I wanted to mention. Now, the only reason I brought it up was because I brought it up with the broom ball thing, and it's also going to play a hand in some instances in this season. Now, I'm not going to explain what one of them. Well, I am not going to explain what the one of them is, because I want to save that for later when I get to the character bio video for the 3 new characters. But I just wanted to bring it up since I mentioned it. Anyway, what happens is basically, as I said, Ernie tells the Rangers in their human forms that he's going to be a coach, but he needs players in order to have a team, and he was hoping the Rangers could be on it because it's a 5-person thing. So there's and then that's when two people from the Stone Canyon Youth Center come to put up the poster for their team, which is basically the Beetle. Now, I'm just gonna get off topic here with the Beetle thing. The Beetle from the poster is actually just gonna play a hand in Zedd's latest monster, which I will explain later. Anyway, and this is gonna sound kind of weird, but this episode is actually the first episode where another side character gets introduced. What I mean by another side character is because there's 2 side characters in this second season that'll get introduced. And this is the first one. The guy's name is basically Richie, I believe. So, well, his name's Richie in the series, and basically he's one of the new kids in school. Now, the second one actually will have a connection to one of the Rangers, but I will explain about that segment when I get to it. I just wanted to bring that up, though, since I mentioned about the fact that there's 2 side characters. And then Trini is, well, first what happens is, the, members from the Stone Canyon Youth Center tell Ernie that, that they came by to put up some posters, and they hope it's okay. And he says, and they said that everyone wants to come and see them play. And then basically, what happens is the male member of the group, because there's a boy and a girl from Stone Canyon in this segment of the episode, and the boy member of the 2 characters from Stone Canyon that show up, he tells Ernie that has he found a team that dares to take on the awesome Stone Canyon Beetles. And then basically what happens is Ernie says that he thinks his friends are gonna play, and then basically the boy member of the team that's with the girl tells them that they haven't lost in 2 years. They need some real competition. And then Jason basically says that Oh, but before I continue, I just want to mention the Richie thing that I mentioned earlier. The Richie character, he's sort of going to be in a couple more episodes in this first season. What I mean by that is he's going to show up again in the entirety of the 10 segment, in different segments of it. And in this case of the episode, what happens is, he's gonna sort of, I think what the creators of the show did for this season was when they introduced this character, they sort of kind of introduced him as sort of maybe a little bit of a love interest, like a flirt kind of character for Trini's character in this respect. I just wanted to get that out of the way because every single episode that features Richie meeting up with Trini and Kimberly, and a lot of the episodes had him trying to basically impress her and stuff, and he actually, I just wanted to get that out of the way. It's a little segment there with the episode. And then after that, what happens is after that, what basically happens is, now getting back into it, after the male member of the team from the Stone Canyon Beatles said that they haven't lost in a few years, they needed some real competition, and then Jason said that they'll take them on, and then basically what happens is the male member says that of the Stone Canyon Beetle broomball team says that he'll see them at the game of the, and basically Tommy says that they better start practicing, and then that's where it goes into a segment with Zedd, and he's like, Tommy will need more than practice to defeat me. He was created by Rita, and I want to wipe out all memory of her failures. Now, basically what he means by that is, remember how I stated in my last video, in every single episode from episode 7 to about episode 13, Tommy would be the main focus of Zedd's plans, and basically, as I said when I did his thing, the only reason he's the focus is because Tommy's Green Ranger powers were created by Rita, and basically he wants to wipe out all memory of her failures. And then Zedd thinks that he's Goldar said that he agrees with him, but how will he do it? And then basically Zedd tells him, silence! I'm thinking. I must find a way to deprive Tommy of his Green Ranger powers. Perhaps. And then he uses his visor, and then he looks down on Earth and he says that perhaps this silly game the Rangers are going to play will provide me with an opportunity. So he uses his visor-like eyes to look down on Earth, and then he sees the beetle on the poster, and then he decides that the beetle is perfect. It said the beetle monster is perfect, and he said that the Stag Beetle shall be his monster, and then he tells this, he's like, what's this, a beetle? Perfect, a Stag Beetle will be my monster. Arise! So basically what he does is he creates the beetle from the poster, and then he tells the beetle to lie and wait for Tommy, and then drain him of his power, then attack and drain him of his powers, and then basically he tells the beetle to go, and then after that, what happens is, like I said, after that, Ernie introduces, well, first, Trini sees, Richie in the youth center, and then basically what happens is, Trini basically asks who he is, and then Kimberly says that Richie's a new kid in school, and he's super, super nice, and then Trini says that he's cute too, and then Ernie introduces them to Richie, and then basically, well, after that, basically what happens is, Trini says that would he like to join the team, and then basically, Danielle, Tom. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Anyway, basically, Ernie said that he got all the players he needs, but he sure could use an assistant coach. And then that's when Richie decides to join the team. And then basically, after that, what happens is then Tommy and Kimberly basically go for a run. And then while they're running, Tommy basically says that he sure hopes that they can beat those stuck-up Stone Canyon Beetles. And then Kimberly says that the way he shoots, how can they lose? And then it goes into a scene where Zedd is, and then he's like, I'll show you how you can lose. I'll send down my putties to hold you for the Stag Beetle. And then he's like, now go! And then the putties show up, the Z putties show up on Earth, and then when Kimberly sees them, she said that she sees the putties, and then she said that she knew this day was going too well. Well, actually, and then Kimberly and Tommy start fighting the putties, and then that's when the Stag Beetle shows up, and then when Kimberly sees the Stag Beetle, she's like, not another giant bug! Because this is let me think, this is let's see, there was a couple of monsters that, Rita and Zedd used that were bug-based. The first one that was bug-based that Rita used, I believe, can't really remember, but I think the first bug-based monster she used back in the first season was, might have been, one of the first ones she used was the Grumblebee. I think the Grumblebee was the later one, but there was another bug-like monster that she used, which was the Mantis and stuff. And then after they see the Stag Beetle, like I said, Tommy basically says that, well, Kimberly basically said that not another giant bug, and then Tommy says that it's time to morph, and then they morph to their ranger forms, and then they deal with the putties, and then after that, the Stag Beetle is telling Green Ranger, like, enough of this! Time to say goodbye to your powers, Green Ranger! And then basically what happens is after that, the Beetle goes in and saps Tommy of his Green Ranger energies, and then Tommy's wondering what the Stag Beetle, but before I continue, before the Beetle actually showed up, I'm just backtracking here, before the Beetle actually showed up, the Rangers had put their a poster for their team, which was called the Angel Grove Sweepers, in the bulletin board thing. And then when Billy looked at the Stone Canyon one, he said that that's weird because he thought there was a large coleopter on that poster. And then basically, Trini says that Billy was right. There was a beetle there before, and that's when the beetle showed up. And then, as I said, the beetle tells Tommy that it's enough of this, and he tells Tommy that it's time for him to say goodbye to his powers, and then as the Green Ranger, and then he starts draining Tommy of his Green Ranger energy, and then basically Tommy wonders what the beetle has done to him, and then the beetle says that he drained him of his powers. His days as a Power Ranger are over, and then Kimberly contacts Zordon on the communicator to tell him that Tommy and her need help. And then she starts fighting the putties, and then the Rangers, then Zordon contacts the other Rangers on the communicators, and then basically what happens is after that, Jason answers Zordon on his communicator, and then Zordon explains to the Rangers about what the situation is, and then the rest of the Rangers morph to their Ranger forms to help Kimberly and Tommy out with dealing with the Stag Beetle. And then after that, what basically happens is Tommy's telling the Beetle monster to know and to stop draining his powers, and then basically what happens is the Beetle mocks Tommy by saying that his power now belongs to Lord Zedd, and he escapes. And then basically what happens is after that, the Rangers basically, they regroup back in the command center, and then they try to figure out what's wrong with Tommy, and then Tommy says that he's fine, just feels really weak. And then Kimberly said that, well, when the beetle attacked us, it was definitely targeting, the beetle attacked him, it was definitely targeting Tommy. And then Zordon says that that's part of Zedd's plan. They must find out what the beetle had done to him. So Zordon tells Alpha to perform a scan on Tommy, and then basically his scan reveals that Tommy's been Billy looks at the scan that Alpha was using, and the scan is showing that Tommy's been stripped of his Green Ranger energy. And then after Zordon overhears that segment, he tells the Rangers to be careful, because if the beetle drained Tommy of his powers, then he could do the same to them, which kind of makes sense. And then basically, they come up with a way to get the Green Ranger power back, but before they do, the Stag Beetle monster shows up. Well, because Billy tells Alpha that perhaps Alpha can construct a transducer to basically get Tommy's Green Ranger powers back. And then basically what happens is he says he can try, and then the Stag Beetle monster shows back up, and then basically the 5 of the 6 Rangers, aside from Tommy, go to where the Stag Beetle monster is, and then the Stag Beetle mocks them and taunts them by saying that didn't they learn their lesson from what happened to their green friend. And then he sends his putties to attack them, and Zedd's putties to attack them, and he blasts them with Tommy's Green Ranger powers, and then they decide to basically regroup because they're too out in the open in the quarry. And then after that, Tommy sees that the beetle's blasting the Rangers with his powers, and then Alpha finishes making the green energy transducer, and then Tommy wonders how the green energy transducer works, and Alpha explains that if everything goes according to plan, basically, when the Beetle fires a blast of green power, the transducer will suck it up, and hopefully the Beetle hasn't used up too much of Tommy's powers, and then after it's finished, Tommy morphs to his Ranger, like he teleports to where the Rangers are, and then the Beetle blasts them with the green energy, and then after that, what basically happens is, after that, he teleports to where the other Rangers are fighting the Beetle, and then basically the Beetle fires a blast of green energy, and then Tommy uses the transducer to suck it up, and then basically get his powers back, and then after that, when Jason finds out about Tommy getting his powers back, he tells the Beetle that the green power is theirs again, and that means he's finished, and he called him a Beetle head. And then basically what happens after that is they bring the power blaster together, and they manage to destroy it, but Billy in his Blue Ranger form tells the others that he doesn't think the Beetle's done yet, and then Zedd's like, "You better believe he's not done. Grow, Stag Beetle, grow!" And then he throws his potion down to earth, and then Billy realizes that Zedd's potion has revived the Beetle, and then Jason says that basically that's not all it's doing, and then he uses the potion to make himself grow, and then the Rangers basically battle the Beetle in the Megazord, and he says that and then after a little bit of a scuffle with it, knocking the Megazord down and telling it how about a little pincher action, they use the Megazord's Thunder Saber to slice off its pincers, and then he's like, "My beautiful pinchers!" And then they destroy the Stag Beetle, and then after it's destroyed, Babu's like, Squawk's like, "Oh boy!" And then Babu's like, "Kaboom's my favorite sound!" And then Zedd's like, "Silence! The Stag Beetle may have failed me, but this time it has not been a total loss." And then Goldar wonders what his master means by that, because his Beetle monster was destroyed. And then Zedd explains that even though his Beetle monster was destroyed by the Rangers, the Beetle succeeded in draining almost all of Tommy's power, and it's only a matter of time before he's completely destroyed. And then basically, then it goes into a scene where the Rangers are finishing up the broom ball game. And then after that, Tommy is telling them about how he's not going to be much help to them now because of the Beetle using up so much of his powers. And then that's basically where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, I'm probably going to post it tomorrow. So if you guys like this video when I post it, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys probably maybe Wednesday for the next video. So until then, guys, like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.